Welcome to episode 2 of the Slaughterhouse. And in this series, we look at games where the king is slaughtered. This game, it's quite funky. Looking at some games of my opponent online, and just complete coincidence, I look at his last game. He was black here, and he lost in spectacular fashion. Let's have a look at it. So with the white pieces, I don't know who this is. His name is online Astkiri Charan, probably Indian. And let's see what happened. So we had the perk defense. Knight f3, bishop g7, and a very unusual move here, knight g5. I guess the idea is to at some point try to lure the pawn to h6, where it might become a weakness. But black didn't bite. He castled, bishop e3, c6, and queen d2. Very direct. White is ready for attacking ideas like h4, h5. And quite often we see the bishop being exchanged here on h6, when the queen and the rook will use the h file effectively to attack. Black played b5. Okay, thinking about a b4 pawn push when the e pawn will become a problem. So f3 to reinforce this pawn. b4, knight e2. And this knight is ready to swing over to the king side if needed. Black kept on expanding on the queen side. But now comes h4. Harry the h pawn coming down the h file. The plan is simple, h4, h5. Again, h6 is always a possibility, but then this pawn is attacked, you must do something about it. And white seems to have a rather easy attacking idea here with g4 and then h4 or g5, depending on what black does. Maybe that's why we saw h5 instead of h6 in this position, h5. But white kept on attacking, g4, going for the king. That's the theme of the Slaughterhouse. Go for the king. Pawn takes g4, and what do we do now? Harry the h pawn, h5. Trying to rip open the h file, rip open the king. And these perk attacks quite often are very similar to attacks you might see in the Sicilian Dragon. Very typical ideas here, h5. Okay, black took with the h pawn. And now another piece in the attack. More fuel on the fire, knight g3. Now black, he hasn't developed anything here. And this looks problematic to have all these pieces here on the back rank. Maybe he should start to try to do something in the center, but he took an f3 trying to get his bishop out. But now all the floodgates are open. Knight takes f3. Bishop is ready for bishop h6. The g file is open. So, if you get just a few moves, like bishop here, castles, and then we flip the rook over to g1, everything on the white side is attacking. So black tried to close down the shop here with bishop g4, but bishop e2, getting ready to castle. And then this rook right over here is ready to swing over to g1 at some point. Finally, black tries to take a claim in the center, but it looks like it's too late. Bishop h6, knight bd7. Trying to get some more pieces into the defense, but it's too late. Bishop takes g7, king takes g7. Yeah, let's just go back a little bit. Queen g5 actually looks tempting because of the potential checkmate, but knight e8 defends the checkmate and threatens to exchange the queen, so we must lose time. So bishop takes g7 as played was a better move. King takes, and now queen g5 check. And with the king stripped bare naked here, nothing really to be done. King h8, now we just rip open the position. But white needed to see a a beautiful idea here. Rook takes h5. Now if you take with a knight, let's just look at that. He went knight h7, but if you take with a knight, okay, it will be similar as in the game actually, with queen g4. And then if you go to the h file, there's long castles and this rook. From when it's on d1, it's ready to swing over to h1 to give checkmate. But actually, the game continuation will be very similar because after knight h7, he played rook takes h7. And this is actually the same position. Queen g4 check. And yeah, like we said, if we go to the h file, there's just quick checkmate here. The rook is coming. Nothing to be done except to interpose the queen. But even there, checkmate awaits because knight h4 to f5 is coming with mate on g7, and if you try to stop that, there's still knight f5 and queen h7, h5, sorry, checkmate. So instead, black tried to run here, king f6, and for a second, looks like, okay, king e6, white needs to find a move. If queen somewhere check, then maybe king e7, we're escaping. What does white do here? And yeah, this is really what caught my eye. I mean, so far the attack has been cool, but the ending here, it's fantastic. So why not pause the video and find how white finished the game here. It's quite spectacular. Assuming you paused and he came back, white played d5 check. Now what is this? If takes, king takes, is the king escaping? No, it's not, because we play the beautiful Sushinsu. Knight to d4 check. And what this does, okay, it forces e takes d4. But once we play that move, we're freeing the queen to protect the d5 square. And that means we can play e takes d5. Checkmate, Czechoslovakia, Peter check, game over. Beautiful finish, and just a random game I found on the internet, and you know, just imagine how many beautiful games like this, you know, people just don't see. But games like this are played every day, and you know, this is what we like about chess: beauty, beautiful attacks, and yeah, I was really impressed with this game, and I hope he played it himself, because you never know, there are people cheating, but it looked like a nice game, and I hope he played it all by himself. I hope you enjoyed this, and yeah, see more beautiful game, we'll put him in the slaughterhouse. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.